Hey there, I'm Alan Matthews from Classical Guitar Shed, and in this video you will get a three-step process to change the fingerings you find in your pieces. So let's say that you're playing a piece of music and you see a fingering. That means just the music tells you what finger to use and you disagree with it. It's just something that you don't think is the right choice. You would much rather do it a different way. Before you do that, here are 3 steps to go through to make that change. If you enjoy this, please do subscribe to this channel. Well, here we have Amazing Grace. Yes, this is Amazing Grace. Let's just pretend that you have decided to play this piece and you open it up. You've got the music there in front of you, and the very first chord, the second note of the whole piece, you notice that there is a 4 down here at the bottom. So these are the little left hand fingerings, 1, 2, 4. These are your left hand fingers. So your thought is, why on earth would I play a 4 there? That is a C chord. I know a C chord when I see one. I didn't mean for that to sound like it did, but I know a C chord. I'm just going to play it like I always play a C chord with the 3 instead of the 4. Before you do that, then here's what you do. Step number 1, and the very most important step of all, is to figure out exactly why the editor or arranger or composer chose that finger. Somebody chose it. Somebody put it there on purpose. Maybe it was a mistake, but it's very unlikely that it was just a flat out mistake. Instead, somebody specifically chose the 4. Is it just to be hoity-toity? Is it just to be difficult, just to make it seem harder than it is? Or is there some other reason? So then the question is, what are the benefits of the 4? So you have to put yourself into a different mode. Yes, you know the benefits of whatever it is that you want, mainly being that you already know how to play a C chord and it's just comfortable to play it that way. So instead of doing that and just sticking with that, the question is, what are the benefits of using the 4 here? And you just can't think of any. Well, you have to look to the next note and we notice, oh, well, there's a 3 on the next note. So there's the 3. Maybe it's so that, why would it be there? Why do it that way with the 3 and then with a 4 and then the 3? Well, one reason might be that it just connects that way. We don't have to lift the finger. And we don't hear the end of the finger or hear the end of the note. So it makes it more smooth and connected. So then that might be the reason. Let's just assume that it is the reason. Now we have a good reason that it's been done. Now we can ask, okay, well, do I agree with that? Do I disagree with that? Do I care about that? And that's not the second question, by the way. So then the second step is to master it. It's to master it exactly as it's written. So yes, you might have a better way. My way is always the best way. That might be the case, but just for education standpoint, just for the benefit of doing something different and stretching ourselves, we can master it the way that it's written. And just do it a few times so that you can actually master it. If you're not comfortable with it yet, well, then you haven't mastered it, because when you master it, then you're comfortable with it. So practice it enough that way so that it's mastered. Then step number 3 is make an educated decision. Now that you can, because before you couldn't. So now that you can actually do it both ways and you can get the benefit of both ways, you can have the nice smooth and connected, there's no bump, right? There's no bump there as opposed to, which is better. There's a small bump there because we can hear the release of that note and then coming into that. So then you can decide, based on everything that you know now, which way do I want to do it? Then you have full license to change anything you want. There might be, and this is a distinct possibility, the composer or arranger or whoever wrote the fingerings may know something that you don't. And so they may have particular ideas about expression and phrasing. Like they might not want the bump, but you might not even recognize that would create a bump, that there's any issue with that, right? You could say, well, I can just smush my 3 finger over and play them both with 1 finger. Well, maybe they didn't know that. So there are all these different things. You might not know something, and so by looking at it, you might learn something new. Or you might find that, yes, because of what I know and because of what I want, based on the physicalities or the phrasing and the expression and any of that kind of stuff, the way I want the notes to flow together, then one might be better. But then at least you're making an educated decision. And that's the whole point of going through a process instead of just doing it to begin with. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to this channel and go forth and change any fingering you want after having mastered the one on the page. All right, have fun. Bye-bye.